So this was not in the cards for me to talk about The Rock taking Cody's place going into WrestleMania against Roman Reigns. Now, I got some theories. I got some ideas. I got some different. I got a different direction, or maybe even a couple different directions they could go with this. But honestly, initially I was like, "Ain't no way they actually did this." That's pretty crazy. Now, WrestleMania 40 is a big stage. You want to have the biggest match you can do on the biggest stage, right? And The Rock vs. Roman is a pretty damn big match. But they could do The Rock versus Cena 3. I mean, they could do that. They could do a fatal 4-way. They could have or even a triple threat with Roman, Cody, and Rock. But I was saying a fatal 4-way with John Cena added to the mix. And there's a reason why I'm saying that, because again, you want to have the biggest match possible, right? My thing is, if they run back having Cody versus Roman, it's like there's no way Cody can not win that match, right? So it's kind of predictable. Do you want to have like a pretty predictable match going into Mania? Like, it will be really dumb from the build up a rematch just to have Cody lose. That is a complete waste of time. That is a slap in the face to everyone who's watching. But then you could argue that this is a huge slap in the face too by having The Rock replace Cody Rhodes going into the storytelling. But this is what I'm noticing. It doesn't necessarily have to be that Cody just gave up his WrestleMania spot. Let's think about this for a second. I watched Raw and SmackDown this week. I don't recall them announcing that there was going to be an Elimination Chamber match for whoever faces whoever Cody doesn't pick, right? They didn't say that. It's kind of implied because it's what they normally do, but it hadn't been stated yet, right? That hasn't been put or hasn't been set in stone just yet. So, hear me out with my logic here. So, we have the possibility that Cody faces Rollins, and the winner of the chamber match just does something else. That's possible too. That could happen. I'm just saying it's a possibility. But let's go with what everyone's saying right now. What the fans are saying. What hasn't really been denied. Let's just say that Cody's losing his spot at Mania to The Rock. Let's just say that, okay? I could be misinterpreting it. You know what I mean? It's like they ended. Rock didn't say anything, and there's still plenty of time before WrestleMania. We don't know where the story is going. Why would they? You know what I mean? Why would they do the exact same thing, or pretty much the exact same thing that happened with Daniel Bryan going into WrestleMania 30, where it was like Daniel Bryan was supposed to face, or what everyone wanted was for Daniel Bryan to win Royal Rumble in 2014, go on to face who was he facing that Mania? Randy Orton for the title, right? Go on to face Randy Orton, beat him for the championship. That's what everyone wanted, right, at that time, or a lot of people fucking wanted that, right? And then they said, yeah, but remember how you guys were asking for Batista? Remember how you really want him to come back? He's going to come back right now. And not only is he going to come back, he's going to win the Royal Rumble. And not only is he going to do that, Daniel Bryan isn't even going to be in the Royal Rumble. Matter of fact, Daniel Bryan, we have no plans for him to be involved in the title picture at all. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like horrible, and everyone rejected it. Everyone, was like flipping out. So then they said, okay, fine. And then they changed it, and it became a triple threat. We had Daniel Bryan beat Triple H earlier in the night that started the show, and he ends the show beating the rest of the members of Evolution aside from Ric Flair, that being Randy Orton and Batista. Makes Batista tap out. How poetic, right? And it's like, let's fucking go, right? Well, if we have Daniel Bryan win the championship, it's great, but they had to change it, right? So why not this time around, since they, already kind of redid Daniel Bryan's story with Kofi, why not this time around kind of do the same thing with Cody, where it's like, instead of it being he gave his spot to Rock, like you said, we've got to keep in mind that Rock is now involved in Endeavor, which is the company that has, or Endeavor, TKO, whatever. It's like UFC and WWE, like a merger and all that, blah blah blah. So Rock's involved in that. So you could say The Rock made him go out and say that The Rock is actually a heel. He wanted to face Roman Reigns. He couldn't make it to the Rumble, so he just said, Cody, give me your spot. and he's like throwing around his power, right? So then you can have Triple H get involved. Triple H is like, okay. We'll do this. We'll have Rock and Roman. We'll also have Cody, and we're also gonna have this man. John Cena comes out, right? Now again, I want Roman versus Cody. The majority of people want Roman versus Cody, right? That's what a lot of people want. I get that. We're gonna get there. Hear me out. So we get this fatal 4-way going. We have Roman and Cody building up into it, right? They already got their set in stone story. The Rock's getting involved. He wants to be he's trying to get his family right. He's trying to be the head of the table now. He's got to stop Roman Reigns and blah, blah, blah. Turns out, he made Cody say it, and it's not really about that. Rock doesn't really care about being head of the table. He cares about his legacy. He cares about going to the biggest stage, making the most money. It's Hollywood Rock. He's a heel. And this gets exposed. First off, it's not Cody who says what's going on. Triple H says it, right? And then Cena comes out and he calls Rock out on it. He's like, hey, you know what I mean? All those years of me like telling you, how I don't respect you, how I don't like you, how I know, you know what I mean? Or the whole thing where he was talking about how The Rock's taking people's opportunities, how he just comes back, walks right in and just gets whatever, gets whatever he wants and all that. You know what I mean? The narrative that a lot of people have about The Rock, right? He goes into that whole spiel. And he's saying that, I did different from you. When I left, when I come back, it's not taking someone's, opportunity. It's a spot that either, A, I've earned, or B, I try to give the people what they want. How can you be the people's champion if you're just selfish? You just do what you want. You don't care about the people, You never cared about the people. Just go for that, right? So you would think that would mean that we would get 2 one-on-one matches, etc. No. So we're going to have a fatal 4-way, right? Get all that together. Instead of having a regular fatal 4-way, because we literally just had a Rumble. So Roman is pissed because he's like, I'm not going to have another fatal 4-way that I've already had. I've already done that. I'm not doing that again. So, Nick Aldis he's like, oh, okay, yeah. You don't have to do this fatal 4-way again. You're going to be doing an elimination fatal 4-way instead. So, get all 4 involved. Now you have Cody, Roman, Rock, and Cena. Huge match. And it's elimination, right? So obviously, you have them go to town each other. And it's not going to be Roman just getting jumped like before. You got 2 things going on at once. You get different face-offs, you know what I mean, at certain points in the matchup. That could be pretty cool. And then eventually, you get your first elimination. I think they should do a simple little elimination format, right? Because they usually never do this in 4 ways, but I think this will work perfectly. Have The Rock eliminate John Cena, right? He eliminates him. Rock basically feels like now, you can tell a story with this. Rock basically feels like now he's beaten Cena 2-1 at Mania. So now you got another story you can build in for next year, or even leading into SummerSlam. Who knows? Then you got Roman eliminating The Rock. Roman is still head of the table. You know what I mean? It's not you. It's me. I'm on top. I'm the big dog. He beats The Rock in front of all the family members and stuff like that. He stays on top. Then you have Cody, of course, beat Roman Reigns. He finishes his story. So now Roman's got that rematch. He's also still the head of the table. He still keeps Jimmy and Solo, and then maybe they slowly branch off from him because he's lost the title. You got Cena wanting to face The Rock 1-on-1. Hold on, had to take care of my dog real quick. So you get Cena, or you get Cena versus The Rock again 1-on-1 at some point in their little feud going on. And then you got that in the background where the winner of Cody versus Roman 3 faces the winner of Cena versus Rock 3, and we go into another big event after that at some point. You know what I mean? There's longevity you can get out of this. I feel like. Does anyone want that necessarily? I don't know. I'm not even saying this is exactly what I want, but I'm just trying to make the best of a bad scenario. You know. I feel like that's where people get lost. Like, it feels like everyone's like, no, we need to go back to Cody versus Roman. They can't now. It's too late. They've done, the damage has been done. They can't just go back and change it. It makes the company look, like, makes the company just look bad in general. You got to make the best of what you have. And I say, instead of just doing a triple threat where, you know, someone's not protected or someone's protected and someone isn't, blah, blah, blah. Let's just do the fatal four way. I think that works. And another thing that I'm hoping for, I'm hoping that, this is ridiculous, maybe. I don't know. Like, I've been training in wrestling. I haven't torn my tricep before, but I've heard it a few times, alright? Listen, hear me out. Let's think about this for a second. Why would you have, if Punk has an injured tricep, right? Why would you have Drew target that tricep? Now, sometimes in wrestling, when somebody has an injury and it's targeted, it's never actually targeting the real injury. You target the other one that is hurt. You don't target, like, that isn't hurt, right? So they strap up the one that's not hurt, and then they target the one that's not hurt, right? You get what I'm saying? It makes sense. Okay. Now, it's very possible that that isn't the case. That he's not actually going to miss WrestleMania. Because Rollins is going to make it to WrestleMania, right? With his torn MCL. I feel like Punk can make it with a torn... I don't know. Am I being crazy? Am I tripping? And he says it's not in the cards, right? It's not even 100% confirmed that he's not going to make it. What if he does? What if he recuperates? You know? I think then you also have this triple threat with the Drew, Seth, and Punk. Have Punk maybe even come back and he's like, hey guys, so I can make it to WrestleMania. And then Drew's like, well, I won the chamber. I'm going to go live your dream at Mania, right? And then they face off, Punk and Drew. They fight on Raw or whatever. Drew beats Punk. Or no, Punk beats Drew, right? Then next week, Punk's like, okay, well, I beat you. I should be in the match, right? Drew's like, no. So then Drew has to put it on the line. Now he has to face Punk again. And if Punk wins, it's a triple threat. Punk beats Drew again. Now we go into a triple threat match. So now Drew, yes, he did lose twice. But then we go into the go home show, right? And you have Drew versus Seth, which is what was initially going to happen anyway. And you have, maybe even have Punk as a special guest referee to kind of protect everybody involved here. So then beats Seth. Punk counts the pin, you know what I mean? Like, at first he's like not calling down a little bit, you know what I mean? He's like pissed off with Drew or whatever. Then have Drew end up winning. Like, Drew hits Claymore, Punk has to count the pin, he counts it, and then he rings the bell, Drew jumps on him immediately. He's got both of them laid out, he stands tall with the championship, which obviously means he's not going to win. But, you know, like, that'd be cool. Now, what does that do to Rollins' momentum going into there? Well, Rollins already has the momentum because he's the champion. Every time we think he should lose, Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura, right? Drew McIntyre even, it was like, damn, it would make sense for him to lose here. And then he wins. They could do the exact same thing with this triple threat. Now, none of what I've said is likely to happen. But I'm just spitballing. And I thought it was like a really cool idea I just kind of came up with, just sitting here in my room thinking about this whole scenario. For me, I'm pretty annoyed, but I'm going to still watch WrestleMania anyway. But it's like, why would they do that? They have to have a plan, right? Right? There's no way they do this and they don't have a plan. They can't just go, well, fuck you guys. Like, and you're probably like, well, they're not saying fuck you guys. They're just trying to do what's best for business. Well, if all your fans spent a year waiting for something to happen, why would you not give it to them? Why not reward their loyalty? Why? I don't really see why you wouldn't do that. But I'm not a booker for a reason. I'm just a wrestler. Thanks for watching.